Ben Harris Quinney is also in London. He's the chairperson of the Bow Group. It's the UK's oldest conservative think tank. Ben, really, we know it's late at night for you, so thanks very much for staying up. I was just wondering how your opinion, your personal opinion of Boris Johnson has changed in the 3 years since he became Prime Minister.
Well, rather frustratingly, despite being a Brexiteer and the Bow Group, the oldest conservative think tank in the world that I run, being very pro-Brexit, we were never confident that Boris was a true believer. We always saw him as an opportunist. And so we didn't support him in his leadership campaign or indeed since. And so it's been rather frustrating over the last 3 years to see people gradually coming round to that view. So, you know, Boris is a figure that I've known for a decade. So I know exactly who he is and what he's all about. And I think he can be a very effective campaigner in some senses, but he's not someone I ever trusted to deliver on a patriotic Brexit mandate. He's not someone I believe to be a conservative. And now I think everyone can see that.
Ben, you are not the first, and I don't presume you'll be the last person to say, while being a conservative, I did not support Boris Johnson as he tried to become Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. But do you think that that actually was self-defeating of the Conservative Party? Because so many people are now saying that, but they didn't say it at the time in 2019 when he won that landslide election and a majority of more than 80 MPs. Because it seems, exactly as you're saying, because he's such a great campaigner, that when he was out there, he was going to win votes, and that may have been the most important thing for the Conservative Party. But it doesn't look like a good decision now.
Indeed not. I mean, look, we both said it. I think Boris has got to be given credit for his skills as a campaigner and his charisma. But fundamentally, trust is such an important issue in politics, and it's such an important issue for leadership. And with all figures that try it, it doesn't matter how bright their beginning is. Ultimately, if you're untrustworthy, and you're taking such a prominent role, it will all unravel and fall apart. That's what we're witnessing here. I do think it's important to acknowledge, though, that the reason why Boris was so popular is because there was a recognition, a spirit around Brexit that something fundamental needed to change. People had had enough of figures like Blair and Cameron and May. And unfortunately, unlike us, they believed that Boris was that change. And so they threw their support so fulsomely behind him. And that has damaged the faith of, I think, a lot of voters. And really what we're seeing happen outside Parliament in polling in the country in general is not people actually switching to the Labour Party. It's people returning or getting to the position of not voting at all because they feel they just can't trust any politicians. And I think that's a very sad state of affairs for the country.
Yeah, you're using the word trust a lot. A lot of former ministers who have resigned have used the word integrity. They say the British public deserves better. Do you think what's happening after Partygate, and we'll still wait to hear what a Commons committee is going to determine about whether Boris Johnson did deliberately mislead Parliament, which would mean lying and would mean that he would have to resign anyway if he would follow his own code of conduct. But the question of integrity, the issue of possible lies that have not just happened once or twice, but repeatedly, has it ruined the reputation of the Conservative Party to the extent that the party may find it difficult to win an election?
Well, one of the big issues of trust over the last 5 or 6 years in British politics has been, by the perception of people that voted for it, the majority of people that voted in the Brexit referendum, a failure to deliver Brexit. And I think that's why this betrayal is so bitter, because they saw the establishment politicians breaking their trust and failing to deliver Brexit. And in Boris, they saw someone that they hoped might be different. So I think what is key for the future of the Conservative Party is that it recognises the spirit of those people that voted for Brexit and backed it in 2019 with the largest majority since Margaret Thatcher, and realises that whilst we need a change from Boris, what we absolutely must not do is go back to the Cameron and May years either, because, you know, these weren't golden years for the Conservative Party and they weren't golden years for conservatism. The last 12 years of Conservative government has really just been continuity Blair. So if the Conservative Party is going to win back that trust, they have to find a way to stabilise, to be a lot less dramatic and chaotic in the way that they govern the country, but also to recognise that revolution in British politics that Brexit demanded.
Ben, we're out of time, but I just wanted to ask you if you could be very, very brief. How long will he survive?
I think we're talking weeks at most. Could be days, could be tomorrow. It's
Ben Harris Quinney in London, and thanks for being brief. Ben, take care. Thanks a lot. Sleep well, by the way.